road safety expert from Mobility Engineering, back again for another Q&A. Thank you very much for joining us for a Q&A. As I always say, please keep sending in those questions, and with my trusty subscribe pillow, please hit that button that looks a bit like this and help us get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We're almost at 400, so push us to that 400 and then we'll keep it going. Hit that button down there somewhere that looks like this. Now, on to today's question. So we're here at our assessment facility at the training rig for wheelchairs and restraints, and also assessment rig for wheelchairs and restraints, because the question today is around wheelchairs and restraint points. So the question is coming from one of our mobility partners in Victoria, and basically what they've said, or they've asked is there a requirement for the angle of the strap, of the tie-down strap, basically from when it comes to the ground of the vehicle to the point on the vehicle? Is there a minimum or a maximum requirement? Do we have to worry about that angle? In this particular case, the reason why he was asking was this vehicle that he was supplying was being used by multiple wheelchair owners. So they were having different wheelchairs in the back, and some of them, the angle was really, really sharp, and he wasn't sure. And he said, is there any defined angles, just so we make sure we're doing the right thing? And the answer to that question is yes, there actually is. There is very, very strict defined angles and sort of ranges of movement that you can have in these straps for them to work and for them to be safe. The requirement is, in terms of what is the requirement, there is no requirement like that says this is the angle, for example. What the requirement is that it has to have instructions in the owner's manual of the restraint with specifications as what the angle is. So that's basically what the requirement is. So my answer to the question is you need to go back to the restraint manufacturer's instructions, which come with the restraints, and check those. And there's always a picture in them. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So basically what we have here is an Unwin instruction manual, and this is for the rear retractors as I've highlighted. And then I've also just marked the right page with the angles. And if you zoom in closely there, you'll see that this has got a section which has defined angles. It's got the actual recommended angles, the shaded angles are the required angles, preferred zone, optional zone. So basically if you can't get in within that preferred zone, you can get in within that optional zone, and then if you're outside of that zone, you basically can't connect that wheelchair at all, or use those tie downs at all. So very, very clear diagrammatic representation with images in all of the owner's manuals. It is a requirement of the Australian standard that there is an owner's manual with those diagrams supplied with the restraint, with the wheelchair restraints. So it's not the requirement for the angles. There is some suggestions for the angle, but the angle is not the requirement. The requirement is that you get instructions on what to do. So if you don't have the instructions, please just go back to the supplier and they can always give you a set of instructions. These come in a PDF, we just copy and paste them and email them out to people all the time. So that's not a problem. But yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. We're talking about the angle that comes here and also the angle from the front. So it might go off to one side like that. Wheelchair angle straps go off to one side. So those are also defined within that diagram as well. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question. Thank you very much for tuning in. As we always say, keep those questions coming in. We love them. Hit that subscribe button down there and we'll see you next time.